Hey guys, here with the Bahrami brothers today. We're going to be doing a pregame show for Super Bowl 56. It's taking place in Los Angeles, and it's between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's going to be taking place at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Translate that to your time zone if you're not located on the Eastern United States. All right, guys. So jumping right into it, let's figure out who's going to take center stage at the Super Bowl. Who do you think is the X factor? I think it's going to be Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is the X factor that the Bengals need to really deliver. And when you look back at kind of a similar type game, which is to me the Super Bowl, or not the Super Bowl, I apologize, the Natty National Championship for college football, right? So when you look at his performance against Clemson in the national championship, he went 31 for 49, 463 yards against Clemson, man. Trevor Lawrence only put up 25 points against them. LSU put up 42. Joe Burrow threw 5 touchdowns, no picks. And then when you look at the game before, which is also on a huge stage against the Oklahoma Sooners, so that was the semifinals for the college football playoff. Jalen Hurts was the opposing quarterback. You know, Trevor Lawrence was the opposing one in the Natty. I mean, Jalen Hurts got crushed, and Joe Burrow went 29 for 39, 493 yards, almost 500 yards, 7 tutties, no picks. Like so in the semifinal and national championship, he combined for 12 touchdowns, of almost 1,000 yards, almost 1,000 yards, and yeah, no picks. So my X factor is Joe Burrow. I think he has potential to lead them to a Super Bowl win. What do you guys think? Who is your X factor?
All right, so I'm gonna say Jamar Chase is my X factor because just because this is such a big game, but he seems like he's kind of like Burrow, just a winner everywhere he goes. He's had so much success already. I mean, he's a rookie, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, and this is a good chance for him to prove that he's going to continue to have a good career, a successful one going forward. And he's already accomplished so much. This is his first season, and winning it all, that would be like the cherry on top for him. Have a nice breakout game in the Super Bowl, the biggest stage of them all. This is the perfect chance for him to really prove it. So I'm pretty confident in him, honestly.
So I think that's actually a great pick because when you look at 2022 for Jamar Chase and just going back 1 week prior, so the day after Christmas, just rattling off the yardage: 125, 266, 26. So okay, a little bit low. May have gotten injured that game or something like that. 116, 109, and 54. I mean, I don't see this guy going anywhere under 100 yards, especially in a fast stadium like that. So I think that's a pretty good pick. And I think, do you think he's going to score? You think he's going to get a touchdown or two?
Yeah, I think he'll be able to get at least one touchdown for sure.
True. I think that's a
I
good
mean, Joe
call.
loves throwing to him.
He really does. And Uzama. I think Uzama
Oh
War
yeah.
Eagle. I think he's going to score a touchdown too. So over to Staffa Vision. Who you think's gonna who you think is the X factor, man?
So I like the Chase and Burrow combo. That's nice what you guys did there. Even though Ramsey's on Chase and my X factor, the pass rush for the Rams is going to be after Burrow. So it's interesting. Like you both are going with the Bengals side. I know on the pregame show when we talked, there was a pre-show. If you guys don't know, we were discussing some ideas, and I was gonna go with Cooper Cup, but actually, I think the Rams pass rush is an X factor versus the Bengals O line. I think that's gonna be the secret. That's the thing no one's gonna notice after the game. They're gonna see the Burrow, like what you guys said, Jamar Chase, the touchdowns, the matchups, and the yards. But at the end, when they look at the stats, I think you can tell who wins the game based off of how many times they get to Burrow, how many pressures they give him. For example, Tennessee sacked him 9 times, which is a crazy amount of time. So I can't even imagine the amount of applied pressures they gave him, just the amount of hits psychologically, just making him second guess. They still came out with a win, but they got better. The next matchup they had, he only gave up 2 sacks. So against the Chiefs. So that's the big matchup. Aaron Donald versus the center and the guard. Are they going to double him every time? Is that going to leave others open? What's going to happen? So whoever, yeah, over under on sacks. That's a big stat. So that matchup is mine. That's my X factor.
I think that's a great call, man, because I
Yeah.
mean, we saw Cincinnati just get picked apart like not too long ago. Their offensive line is not great. They've had 2 weeks to rest, so hopefully they come out, fire in there quick. But the Rams, for example, have had 50 sacks. Their opponents against the Rams have had 31. So they definitely are in the positive there. And if Aaron Donald, or honestly, if they can just clog up Joe Mixon and they can kind of, drop 8 or something like that, or maybe drop 7, then I really see Joe Burrow having difficulty finding some openings if the defensive line gets that pressure.
Oh, what I was going to add on was also keep a lookout for T. Higgins. He could have a good game as well.
T. Higgins, man, how did he do at the end of the year? Let's see.
I think he did all right, but I feel like he's a little bit underrated, to be honest, because the Bengals have a lot of weapons, but I feel like he just doesn't get talked about as much. He's still a solid player,
I
but I think, yeah,
I completely agree, man. I think he could easily be a wide receiver 1 for some teams. I'm just gonna be straight there. I think T Higgins could easily fit that role, and if you had like kind of like a Marvin Jones Jr. as your number 2, I think that'd be a pretty deadly combo. Just he's sitting there number 2, number 3. I mean, Tyler Boyd's even kind of underrated in my opinion. He had a slow start to the year, but Tyler Boyd did pick up.
yeah,
So
Yeah, Tyler Boyd, another. It depends on what happens with like what corners are gonna follow who. So like if it's it's gonna be Chase and someone else. But if it's not Chase, it's gonna be the other two. So there have to be 2 of them. You know what I mean? Out of the 3, 2 of them have to go off. So if it's Chase and Higgins or Chase and Boyd or because not one, there can't be just one. Or Uzama might be someone, or Mixon maybe in the backfield, but it has to be 2 of them that collect the yards and get a lot of the target share.
I agree. I completely agree, man. And then also, I mean, it factors in with just the pass rush. Like if Joe Burrow doesn't have time to even look at, his second, third option because the pass rushes in his face, they may have a difficult time moving the ball there, man.
Yeah, like if they're losing and the Bengals lose, they'll be pressured. They'll dump it off to Mixon and they'll do quick throws to Tyler Boyd because T. Higgins is a deep. He burns a lot of people in the long passes or in the red zone, and Chase is kind of in the middle and deep. But if they win, you'll see Higgins have a bunch of air yards, like deep targets, and Chase burning Ramsey and stuff like that. But if they're losing, you'll see a dump offs because they won't have time to throw. So it'll be interesting.
So guys, let's get into the real bread and butter, the reason everybody's tuned in, our predictions. So we're gonna start with who we think is gonna win. I just want to mention that America, according to ESPN, America is about 66% behind the Rams. So 2/3 of America think that the Rams are gonna win. Staffa Vision, let's start with you, man. Who you got in this matchup?
So I'm a part of the 2/3. I think the Rams are going to win. I think, as we talked earlier, the pass rush will get to Burrow. Don't think he'll have enough time. I think Kupp is going to eat. He's going to no one's going to stop him. Another mini X Factor, Odell Beckham. He's going to eat. Rams defensive line is going to get after Burrow, but it'll be close. It'll be close. Maybe they go to overtime, game-winning touchdown overtime. Maybe it's 7 or less, 4 to 7 points around that area. Maybe they try to get a game-winning drive. Joe Burrow throws a pick. So yeah, I'll go with Rams. And I know it's the heavy favored pick. And I don't know. Who knows? Maybe now Bengals will win because I said that, but I'm going Rams.
True. Ali, who you think wins?
Yeah, I got to go with the Rams. I mean, I would love to see the Bengals win because they've never won a Super Bowl before. Cool to see someone new. I know the Rams haven't won since like 1999, I think it is the last time they won. That was when they were in St. Louis. But just they have so much talent, and they've been to the Super Bowl a few years ago. I know it's Jared Goff they had back then, but some of the guys, Von Miller's already won a Super Bowl with Denver. He's back there now, and then they got a lot of good weapons. Kupp, he's amazing, arguably the best receiver in the league. I just think they're ready this time. They're not happy to be there. This time they want to get it done. The Bengals are so young. And I know, I could be wrong because the Bengals have been proving everyone wrong, all year long. And they're a great team. But it just seems like I got the Rams in a close one. For sure, it's not going to be a blowout. And I know like last year everyone was saying, "Oh, Chiefs gonna be close," and they got blown out by the Bucks. So anything can happen. I could be wrong, way wrong, honestly. But I'm gonna go with the Rams, and I'm taking them by maybe a field goal. I would say. I just think Cincinnati's gonna hang in there the whole game. Uh, two great teams going at it, so it should be fun.
Man, I like those picks, but as coach says, not so fast. I'm
Oh,
I'm
don't
going
do it. Don't
I'm
do
going
it.
I'm going with the Bengals, baby. I'm going with 1/3 of America. It's probably all of Ohio. And the reason I'm doing that is as you guys can see on the screen, the last 5 games, I think that the Bengals have beat just better opponents. And the fact that, yeah, they lost to the Cleveland Browns, but I mean, the Cleveland Browns, I actually think on any given Sunday could beat anybody in the league with a Myles Garrett, a rushing attack like Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. They can beat anybody. So I'm not hung up on that. The same week, the Rams lost to San Francisco in overtime. So when I'm looking at their previous opponents, I personally think that the Bengals beating the Raiders, the Titans, and then the Chiefs, especially at Titans, at Chiefs, to me speaks volumes. I will say that with the Rams beating Tampa Bay, that does give me a little bit of confidence there. And just as a side note, I'm betting, not betting, I'm thinking that the Cincinnati Bengals will win, but I would be very happy to see Matt Stafford get his ring, because I mean his career. It's great to see that he didn't give up. Not saying that Megatron gave up, but it's great to see him stick through his terrible time in Detroit and kind of get rewarded with playing in sunny Southern California and taking his team to a Super Bowl. So I think the Bengals win. I'm hoping. I mean, regardless, to me, it's a win-win. The Bengals get their first Super Bowl. Matt Stafford gets a Super Bowl. To me, he deserves. I mean, if you guys watched him play back at Georgia, I mean, that guy was a gunslinger. I mean, he was better than Eli Manning at that time. Like, let's just be straight. So, I think the Bengals. So, all right, jumping right into it, guys. Who do you think is the MVP? So are you sticking with you guys sticking with the Rams for MVP?
Yeah, let's go with unfortunately, it's a little biased. It's always a quarterback unless there's a defensive player that makes a game-changing play. So if I'm going Rams, going Stafford. I think if Stafford can do enough, not necessarily to blow them out or win the game, he just has to not mess up, let his defense do their thing, throw 2 touchdowns, one to Cup, one to Odell. Forget about it. There's your MVP. But the only way is if it's a low scoring game somehow, low scoring, and then Stafford's not playing that well. But then that defense gets to Burrow, they fumble 6, or late they throw a Ramsey pick 6 or something like that. If the defense can score and it's low scoring, then boom, defense. But I'm thinking semi high scoring. We're gonna go with Matt Stafford. So, and like you said, he was in Detroit. He was deprived. If anything, I know football's a lesson on like life. They're both kind of similar. It's like not everything is fair. So just because you're in Detroit and you're suffering doesn't mean you should win. But I'm rooting for him. You know, I'm rooting for the good guy in Stafford and trying to get out of Detroit and win a Super Bowl.
Well, not everybody, just to jump in, not everybody has the name Manning and can basically throw a hissy fit on where they get drafted and actually has a say in that. So,
This is Eli again. Oh my! Leave Eli alone, man. Leave Eli
hey,
alone.
the handling of that draft with Philip Rivers and the Chargers and all that was ridiculous. But sorry to just had to mention that. So Ali, who you got for MVP?
All right. So this is gonna be a tough one, and I do gotta throw in a jab at Eli. I mean, he did have some great defenses in those Super Bowl wins. You know. All right, but I'm gonna get back to what you asked. I would say if the Rams do win, what Safa was saying, it normally goes to the quarterback, but Cooper Cup. I just think he's such a monster. He's so clutch in the playoffs. He's so fun to watch. It might go to him, to be honest. So that's what I'm sticking with. It could be, well, with the defense, I know the Rams have a great defense, but the Bengals offense, they're gonna put up a fight. So I don't think anyone from the defense can win MVP. If it, what I would say, I guess Jalen Ramsey, or maybe Donald if he makes a good play. But I'm just not too confident on that. I'm just gonna stick with Cooper Cup. It's rare to see, an MVP winner on a defense. So I'm just gonna stick with what I as my first option. So I'm gonna go with Cooper Cup.
Cool, man. I really like that. I completely agree that defense. I see the score going pretty high in this. It would take to me almost like a Trayvon Diggs type game where you get like two picks, a tackle for loss or two, and maybe even like a forced fumble or something like that to win MVP. Or if the game's really close and you like seal the deal with the pick six and you guys were behind or something like that, right? Like you could win MVP that way, but. I'm with you guys. I think it goes to an offensive player, and I think it goes to your boy Joe Burrow. I think he puts up 400 yards, four touchdowns, and a pick. Is my guess, and I think he spreads it out. I think he spreads the ball around. I know you're worried about Jalen Ramsey shutting him down, but I think Jalen Ramsey's lost a step. Ever since the whole Hunter Renfro beef in preseason, I think he's a little overrated. So, and probably overpaid. And so yeah, I think Joe Burrow and yeah, and real quick, I want to get your guys' opinions on kind of like an underrated player. Maybe this is like their first big game, or they're an underrated player who makes the best of their opportunities. Who do you guys think is the biggest dark horse? Like who is the most important like underrated player, if you will?
I would say for me, for the Bengals, I would say T. Higgins because I feel like he's very underrated. Last year he had a good season. He's still really young. He's gonna keep getting better. He's not like what you would say is the best option for the team, but good, good. He plays his position well. He can get. I see him getting a touchdown. Honestly, in this game, I really do. Um, just because people are so focused on all the other weapons the Bengals have, right? Like Jamar, I talk about Mixon's a great player. They kind of don't focus on Higgins that much, and it makes sense. But Burrow, Burrow's gonna find him somehow. He loves throwing to him as well. I can just, I do have a feeling that's gonna happen. Honestly, I can see him doing something in the Super Bowl. Of course, the biggest stage. It's a great time for him to let people know, so he stops being underrated. People finally talk about him.
Good call, man. Good call. Staff?
Yeah, I think that's a great take. Yeah, T's good, man. Clemson, go Clemson. But I think this person's not necessarily underrated as a player. Honestly, I don't think they're even that above average, but for this game, they're going to be underrated and could be pivotal in the team's success. So we haven't talked about it. I don't really talk about it on my channel either about running backs. A little overrated, but the backup running back. So if you remember, there's a guy in LA named Sony Michel who was a former Super Bowl champ, and he ran the rock pretty dang well. So Sony Michel and Pirine, Samaje Pirine of the Bengals. So
Ooh.
Mixon's good. Obviously, Akers are good. They're going to do their thing, but it's always the backup running back or someone who has a breakout run. And Cincinnati's been feeding Pirine. He had that long run in the playoffs. So, and Sony, he's a playoff type of back. His knees inflamed, but they let him rest and they let him go. They shoot him up before and have a nice playoff run. So, backup running backs from both teams, watch out. One of them could have a big run or a big pivotal third down. They truck a middle linebacker and momentum comes back. And NFL is all about momentum. So, backup running backs would be my under the radar picks.
Yeah, I think that's a great call with the backup running backs because they often, they have nothing to lose, so they're just going to cycle guys through, tote the rock with who they think is fresh is going to give them the best opportunity. I think to a certain degree, both teams should both try to establish the run. As much as they both want to come out slinging it, I think establishing the run, wearing down the other defense, actually equates to a win. So I just wanted to say that I think whoever runs the ball better is going to win. But my dark horse is going to be CJ Uzama. So Uzama, I actually think low key could get like four touchdowns, 60 yards. Or it's not four touchdowns, sorry. Four catches for 60 yards, two touchdowns, and could be like a little sleeper MVP over there. Like he's very consistent in the red zone. He's had a phenomenal postseason, and they're definitely going to be highlighting and keying on those receivers. And if they're getting that fast pass rush, look for Joe Burrow to dump off to the running back, and I think they'll cover that pretty well, but I think Uzama can present some mismatches in the secondary. So I think Uzama has great potential there. And just to highlight, I do want to also talk about Sonny Michel, man. He was kind of, I don't want to say forgotten about, but the first 3 quarters of the season, nobody cared about him. And then once they had injury issues, the Rams that is, he really stepped in and was just kind of a really solid back for them, constantly giving them 3, 4, 5, 6 yards, just running hard. And it's great to see him find success at a new home in LA.
I hope you're right about Uzama because I just looked it up and he said he'd take a chili bath
If
if
they
they win.
win, yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
hoping, you know what? If our picks are wrong, that's fine. I just want to see a chili bath. That'd be funny. So
Fair, man, fair. I wanted to get to two last topics, and that's going to be score prediction, and then the last is going to be like like outlandish prediction. So like,
a
tough
hot take.
hot takes, man.
okay.
Because I got a couple, and just so you know, because then we could just cut it later and be like, oh look, I said that, and if you just say like 10 things, Anyway, but let's get to score prediction. So you guys both picked LA. What do y'all think the score is going to be?
So here, Ollie, you can go ahead. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna see what the spread is while you're doing
Spread
that.
is 4 on ESPN.
All right. I'm gonna go with so I picked the Rams, maybe 27-24. I just think that's a decent score. Not gonna be too high, but not too low. Both offenses are really good, and I just know the Bengals are gonna put up a fight. It's not gonna be a blowout. Um, it's tough though. I mean, yeah, I can see why the spread is. It's only like 4, but that's what I'm gonna go with. That's my prediction.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I looked over under. So 48 and a half. So that would fit. That's around Vegas is usually pretty right. So 27-24 is around a bit. So I think it'll be a little bit over. Um, I think it'll be like 27-28 at one point, and then let's say someone kicks a field goal, the Rams. So let's say it's like 30-28, kind of high score. It's actually pretty high scoring, but 30, 28, and yeah, I mean, what is that? 30 and 28, 58? Oh, that's a lot actually. Yeah. I mean, yeah, let's do it. 30 and 20 30 28. That's what I'm thinking. Rams.
That's a great pick, man. I was actually gonna go 31-28. I'm not even kidding you, but I
Um,
will. I'll change it for
for the people.
yeah, for like Price is Right, we cover it. I'm gonna go with 28-24, and I'm gonna go with the Bengals there. I think that the field will play very fast. I mean, I said 28. There'll probably be more field goals if I had to guess. When defenses to me have 2 weeks to prepare, um, they come out with just different looks than they may have had in film all year. And while an offense may end up inputting, a couple trick plays, I end up anticipating a trick play or two potentially from both sides. When you give them 2 weeks, especially like the Rams or something with Sean McVay over there, I think that they have the potential as defenses to kind of develop a scheme a little bit more, and offenses may have to adapt a little bit more during the game. So I foresee a lower scoring first half and a higher scoring second half. I think they're a little bit nervous in the first half. So I'm gonna go 28-24 Bengals. And then let's get to the hot takes. The first one that I just wanted to bring up and get your guys' opinion on, and then I'll let you guys bring up your points is Sean McVay. So Sean McVay has mentioned that he may prioritize some time with his family moving forward, and it's pretty wild to hear a coach who's very young in his prime jumping into his another Super Bowl as Ali mentioned earlier with Jared Goff and whatnot, and taking a whole nother quarterback there. The resume speaks for itself here, and it would be unfortunate if he stepped away just from the game perspective. It'd be wonderful from, just to be honest with you, like a parental perspective and things like that. So if he decides to do that, I fully support the guy. But do you guys think that regardless of if they win or lose, or do you think it affects it, do you think Sean McVay could end up like taking a break for a couple years from the NFL? What are you guys' thoughts?
I don't think it'll be too much, like too long, but I guess maybe a few years I can see him leaving. I don't know. Like you said, he's so young. and he's already had a lot of success. Could be a Super Bowl winning coach. Um, so I'm not really sure. I don't expect it to be too long at least.
Yeah, I don't buy it. I think he'll maybe try for like a month, and he's a football guy, like he loves that. He probably runs sprints with the players, like Sean McVay, like low key, like he looks like he could play, So I think he loves the game, especially if you're that intelligent, and people go their whole lives trying to find what they're good at, and then he found it, So why would he stop doing it? So I get it. No, it makes sense with your family. I'm not saying why would he not, but I think he just has to find a better balance. It sounds like he just needs better time management, And I think the best way to solve that is a Super Bowl, and you relax this offseason, maybe wind down, maybe delegate some of your work, get some more assistance or something. But he'll be back. He's not going anywhere, especially if he gets a taste of victory. He's gonna want more. So
I completely agree, man. I think he's a guy who probably just dives headfirst into everything he does and just is like, I realize how much time, energy, and focus, running this football team is, but at the same time he's doing it very well. So maybe he's able to dial it back, as you said. Maybe he can delegate a little bit more of the workload, and yeah, because I'd be sad to lose him. I would be very happy if that was a decision he made, because I think, as I mentioned, it's a mature one. But at the same time, just from a as a fan, I love watching just young coaches. Like when Mike Tomlin came in, man, and he was just rolling face with, he was just wrecking everybody. He was out coaching everybody who had been there for years, and I still think he's a great coach. A lot of people still I don't know. He hasn't won the most games in the past couple of years. I'd still take him over 75%, 85% of the coaches in the league right now. All right, guys, and the last segment that we're going to be covering is hot takes. So, what are some of your hot takes? I know we just talked about Sean McVay. That's quite the hot take. If he's going to be with the Rams next year, next 4 years, 5 years, or not. I think he will personally. And so, Stoff, let's start with you. What is a hot take that you think is going to happen with the Super Bowl?
all right, hot take. We see a fake punt by the Rams. They convert it, and post Super Bowl, we see Odell Beckham re-sign with the Rams, and he stays with the Rams. I don't think he goes anywhere. He likes the weather. He likes the sun, the celeb, the fame, the clout. He gets a ring. He gets a nice fat contract. Boom. Odell, LA, pair with Stafford. And yeah, fake punt, because the Rams punter, man, he's nice with the fake punts. He can throw. He's pretty accurate. I wouldn't be shocked if you see a fake punt by them. So if that's a player prop bet, fake punt pass, convert, go for that. There used to be like an O-line touchdown prop. They still probably do it. I don't think you'll see an O-line touchdown from these two teams, but fake punt, be on the lookout.
That's an interesting one, man. Always bringing in special teams. So, Ali, you have any hot takes?
Yeah, I got one for the game. I would say it's kind of similar to, let's remember what Seattle did against the Patriots. They didn't run the ball like 1 yard away and they threw a pick, which has cost them the game. I can see maybe one of the Rams or Bengals missing a easy field goal to win the game, or having being in the red zone and having a costly turnover, something similar to that. I can see that happening in crunch time too, or maybe it goes to overtime, and then something similar happens during overtime, or let's say less than a minute in regulation, costly turnover. I think that's my hot take, I would say.
I could see that happening. I definitely, have nerves got to them, especially get close to the goal line, or fourth and
Yeah.
two, something like that. I'm going out. I'm going out on a limb and saying I don't know if it's really going out on a limb, but I think that Matt Stafford throws for 450. I think Joe Burrow throws for 400. I think Cooper Cup goes for 175 to 180. And my hot take, the one I think is actually out there. I think Van Jefferson has like a 60 to 75 yard touchdown catch.
Oh,
Could even be like an end around, like a sweep or like a reverse or something like that. I see Van Jefferson, or even like a trick play, like if they toss it back to Odell. I think Odell can throw pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. And he chucks it down to Van Jefferson. I could see them pulling off like a 60, 70 yarder that way. Not gonna lie.
Because you guys takes were very high compared to the fake punt. So I'm gonna add one more real quick. I think you could see one of the backup running backs, as we brought up earlier, getting 2 touchdowns, whether it's P Ryan or Sony Michelle. I could see Sony running it up, 2 goal line stops, boom, boom. You running in with Sony, not Lamichael P Ryan, Samajai P Ryan. That's his brother. Shouts out. So former Jet. So yeah, they'll get 2 touchdowns, one of them.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Well, I believe, guys, that will do it for our predictions and our hot takes. We will check back in, probably do a post game show. This was really fun collaborating with you guys. And let's start with you, Staff. Where can people find you?
All right, so you can find me at the local Whole Foods. No, I'm just kidding. So really, where you can find me is on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. It's all at Staffa Vision. So at Staffa Stafa Vision. Tune in. I'll post on TikTok all the time and YouTube, and I'll tweet the videos as well. So if you like sports, like what you see, just like and subscribe and hit me with a follow.
Yeah. Ali, where can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, my username for YouTube just Ali Bahrami, and I'm on Instagram a lot, and I just use Facebook. I even post my videos on Snapchat, any kind of social media of those. I'll just put it on there every time I upload a video, and you can feel free to check me out anytime. Trying to upload more often on my channel, and this is definitely a lot of fun, and we should do this more often.
Yeah.
I think it went very well. It's fun.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. It's the first time a lot of us have done something similar to this, a little bit more scripted, a little bit more ad hoc at the same time. So, we all love sports. As I mentioned, I do more crypto type YouTube. I cover crypto.com and their projects, some of their like lesser known projects and stuff. Cover on a week to week basis. Post videos pretty regularly. Really just started a month or two ago. I actually showed you boy Staffa Vision here how to do a small thing on a.
Yeah, check out his channel. It's growing. It's going to check out Tylucky, buy MMF, buy Crow. It's all going like his channel's going.
Yeah. Not financial advice. No financial advice.
No financial advice. No financial advice.
But because I actually could see some folks anticipating that the crypto.com ad a little too heavily. And I mean, the same thing happened with Dogecoin. Like people were stoked for Dogecoin around the Super Bowl, and then it ended up plummeting shortly after. But yeah, so you guys can find me on Twitter as well at Tylucky Official. Not Tylucky. Everything else is at Tylucky. And I just wanted to say, guys, want to enjoy your company in general, but really enjoyed the chit chat today. So I unfortunately we can't watch the game together. Look forward to talking back and forth during the game and whatnot, and seeing kind of how some of these predictions hold up. So thank you guys for hanging out, and yeah, as always, like, subscribe, comment anything that you guys think we missed. Let us know your guys' thoughts, who you guys think is going to win, and